Hi, I'm David Ellison, and this is the Rock House Method Level 1 program for learning to play metal bass guitar. I've been a metal bass guitarist most of my life, I've been a musician for most of my life, and I've certainly been a huge metal fan. Throughout all of my career, though, the one thing I have known how to do is to be a well-rounded, versatile musician. And this started when I was a very young boy. I learned how to play keyboards, I learned how to play saxophone, I learned how to play guitar, and most importantly, my passion about playing bass guitar. This has given me a firm bedrock for everything that I've done throughout my professional career. Now in this program, you're going to learn all the basics you need to get started playing bass and to develop as a metal bass player. I also want to let you know about something else that's really cool, that this program comes with a free online lesson support. Go to the main menu to find out how to register for your free membership at rockhousemethod.com. So grab your bass, let's go. Let's go tear it up and play some metal. Okay, to get things started, let's first of all take a look at the parts of the bass. Essentially, there are three parts of the instrument. There's the body, there's the neck, and then there's the headstock. So starting from the top to the bottom, the headstock consists of the tuning keys, which are designed to tune the instrument. Then there are always two nuts involved with the bass. There's this nut right here, which the strings go over, and then the other nut is the one who's playing the instrument. Down below that we have the frets, which run the entire length of the fingerboard. Down here we have the pickups, and this is what actually helps amplify the instrument so that we actually hear the sound from it as it runs through its amplifier. Down here we have the bridge, which anchors the strings into the body. And we have the electronics, which are ultimately the volume and our tone controls. Down here we have the jack where you plug the instrument in so that you can be connected to the amplifier. And then on the end of the bass and also up here we have the strap buttons, which is what you use if you want to be in the standing position using a strap. So there you have it. Those are the parts of the bass. Let's talk about a comfortable position for your playing the bass. Most of what we're going to be doing in this program, I'm going to be sitting down playing, and you as a beginner learning to play the instrument will most likely want to be sitting down because it'll be the most effective position for you to be in to properly play and study and learn. Essentially, most basses are cut out with a contour down here, so you can put the bass. In my case, I'm a right-handed player, so a right-handed player would usually set it on your right leg. If you were a left-handed player, all of these mechanics would be completely the opposite. So as you hold the bass, it's most important to just be comfortable. And usually with the neck coming across your body as opposed to being back this way will afford you the ability to move your hand comfortably out as you extend your arm down to the upper reaches of the neck, which is where we're going to be doing most of our playing in this program. Now for your right hand, which is your picking or plucking hand, you should be able to rest your hand comfortably back here so that you don't break your wrist, because that can cause some serious tension and problems, as well as it can affect the way that your ability to play the instrument. I like to, when I'm playing with my fingers, be able to anchor my thumb right here on usually on the pickup or on a pick guard or something, even one of the strings. But essentially you should just be comfortable and you should be relaxed when you're playing. So now you know how to hold the bass. Okay, before we get going on any playing, we need to make sure that our instrument is in tune. And for these purposes today, you can tune to me, and I'm going to go across the strings. I have a 4-string bass, and the first string is this smallest, skinniest string up here on the top, which is a G string. The second string below that is the D string. The third string is an A string, and the fourth string is the biggest, fattest string here, which is the E string. So I'm going to play each string so that you can tune your instrument, and you use your tuning peg on the top to tune. You can either raise the pitch or you can tune it toward you to lower the pitch. So here's the G string. Now you should be able to raise or lower it to get in tune here. Now I'm going to go to the D string. Now we'll go to the A string. And finally, we'll go down to the E string. There's also a tuner available at the rockhousemethod.com website that you can download that you will be able to use to help you better with that. And now you should be in tune. Let's do some playing. Now I want to teach you how to read tablature, or tab as it's commonly called. Tablature is a numbering system for reading notes on the neck of a guitar or bass. It does not require you to have any knowledge of standard music notation, and this system was designed specifically for guitar and bass. What you're looking at right now is a bar of tablature. You'll see 4 horizontal lines, and those represent the strings on your bass. The top line is going to represent your G string, which is the smallest string. The one below that is your D string. Below that is your A string, and beneath that is your E string, the biggest string. You're also going to see some numbers on the strings. These correspond to the frets that you're going to be playing on with your left hand. So, for example, you'll see a 0. That would mean not to play any frets at all. That's an open string. When you see a 3, that means with your left hand, you're going to play the 3rd fret on the E string because that's where the 3 is. The next string up, you're going to see a 2, and that's your A string. That means you're going to play on the 2nd fret of your A string. And then above that, you're going to see the D string has a 2 also. So you're going to take your finger off the A string and place it on the D string and play on the 2nd fret. Now you may notice these little numbers underneath the numbers that are on the strings. And these correspond to your left hand fingers that should be playing these notes on the frets. The little number 1 corresponds to your index finger. Number 2 is your 2nd finger. Number 3 obviously is your 3rd finger. And 4 would be your pinky. This just helps you play when you're trying to work out positions, because a lot of times you're going to run into things that are complicated or seem like you don't have enough fingers to play. So this will help you out. Let's go over some real simple techniques here before we start playing, so that now that we're comfortable with the bass and we know the parts of the bass, let's talk about a few techniques with both the left and the right hand that will help get the most optimum sound out of your fingers. Because ultimately playing, as much as we can learn all kinds of nifty cool things about playing the bass, our real sound comes down to our own personality and the way that we touch and feel and play the instrument. So with our left hand, which is going to finger the neck up here, we want to make sure that our hand is really in kind of a C position, so that you're always using the back of the neck is touching with your thumb. And from there, what that's going to allow us to do is play on the tips of the fingers. We want to always be up on the tips as much as we can, as opposed to just laying our hand across the string. That'll give us a much more clear, more precise sound. And we also want to try to finger in between the frets, not directly on the fret either. But again, we want to be able to use our ears for this to make sure that we're getting the cleanest, clearest sound possible. Now, a lot of people play the bass with fingers. I actually do a little bit of both. I pluck the bass with my fingers, and I also use with a pick. For plucking, it's just a matter of just simply raking your hand across the strings. And ultimately, we like to use a 1 and 2nd finger approach to plucking the bass. So you can incorporate more fingers later on, but everybody mostly uses 1 and 2, and it seems to be the simplest. And again, anchoring on a pickup is always a good